The number one wealth killer is sitting right in your garage. Now, this is not what you want to hear, but this is probably the most important video that I'll ever do. Now, I'm only going to share with you on my channel from my own personal experiences. And I'm going to give you my own personal journey, and I'm going to share with you how I rewired this and how I've transferred to the right side of the wealth pyramid. Okay? When I was a banker making $30,000 a year in my banking career, I had a 1997 Honda Civic. I'm going to give you a hint. There's a hint right there. Paid off. Okay? I had an apartment, and I made about $36,000, somewhere around there. I don't remember the exact. It was $33,000 to $36,000 a year. I had very low lifestyle costs, and I had a ton of cash flow coming in. The biggest mistake that I made, that I will never make again, and I'm glad I went through it, because I'm going to teach you what you need to do right now, is every single time I got a pay raise, I went from $33,000, $36,000 to $50,000, and guess what happened? I went from a 1997 Honda Civic to a Series 3 BMW. Then I get a promotion to 6 figures, and guess what? The 3 Series wasn't good enough anymore. Then I got the 5 Series, and on and on and on. I went from 1 car in the parking garage to 2 cars in the parking garage, from an apartment to a big home. What happened is as I increased my pay, I increased my lifestyle. So the number one wealth killer for most of you is your car. Okay? And I know you don't want to hear this. And most of you listening to this right now, you have an SUV, you have a car that's sitting in your parking lot, and here's the reality, okay? You make $60,000 a year, and you got a $50,000 car. This is the greatest trap that they ever created. Here's why you have a $50,000 car. Because they can extend that over 72 months now, okay? And they give you an interest rate of 6 to 7%. Right? And you're looking for the payment. This is the number one thing that is destroying your wealth. You have to get out of this mentality. So if you have a $700 payment, do you realize what that $700 a month could do if you were putting it in something that would compound? Okay? And the younger you are, the more powerful this is right now. Okay? So listen to me. If you have a car right now that is like this, I would recommend getting out of it as quick as possible. Nobody cares what you drive. I'd recommend getting in a paid off car, and I'd recommend getting as close to debt free as you can on the personal side. But what we're going to do is we're going to transmute this, okay, into growth. That's what you have to do. And so what I did was, I'll tell you my personal experience, okay? So the new self, the old self, went from $30,000 a year to well over 6 figures as a banker. Never made more money because I had more stuff, and the new self did this, okay? I started 100K, a little bit over 100K, okay? My income kept going up, okay? My income went from 100K, okay? Then it went up to 118K, and it's continued to increase, and some people will see this as bragging, but I want to show you what's possible, okay? Now, companies, dividends, everything, I'm bringing in 500K. Now, I don't get all of that, okay? So I get a portion of that being the owner. A month. This is a month. So I went from 100K per year, 118K per year, to 500K per month. It took me about 8 years to get there, and we're continuing to expand. But here's the difference. This is not easy, but guess what my percentage to lifestyle is, because I went through that lesson. 15% of my income, and I'm telling you this because anybody can do it, is my bills and lifestyle. I have 0 credit card debt. So of the percentage I get of this 500K a month, all goes into assets, into cash flow. Okay, cash flow, excuse me. That's how winning is done. It's not making it so difficult. Make the complex simple. The reason why we're in this position we're in Americans is because of lifestyle creep. They taught us to borrow against our future self, a car, okay? This is borrowing against your future self. You can't afford a $50,000 car if you make $60,000. You can't. But because of debt monetization and the trap, why do they want to keep you here? Because that's how they make money. Again, there's only interest in the system, guys. You're paying it or you're earning it. And that's the only difference. As I went from the monetary debt slave system to earning the interest. That's how winning is done. So if you go out in your parking garage right now, husband and wife or single, especially if you're single, guys. If you're single and you're buying a car you can't afford right now, get rid of it. Nobody cares what you drive. So if you see me driving any vehicle, they're through my businesses. I don't even have a personal vehicle. I made my whole life my businesses. I have zero credit card debt, and my lifestyle is only 15%. Now I know that's difficult in this time, but imagine if you got it down to 30% and you take 70% of your income and you buy assets. That's how winning is done. It's not that difficult. It's not reserved for the 1%. All that happens is money moves from the undisciplined to the disciplined. And freedom comes from disciplined action for a long enough period of time to access that new paradigm. So I'd have the conversation. Maybe go out, talk to your spouse, look at your car, see if you can get out of it and see if you can free up that payment and start stacking that into assets and watch what happens to your life over the next 24 months. As we always say, warriors, rise. Get your shit together. Let's go.